Let's talk about, of course, this whole idea of qualifications, who should run. Donald Trump has been praising Ron DeSantis, who is running in Florida, as saying that he's a top student at Yale and Harvard Law School, be a great governor. But then, of course, he blasted Stacey Abrams, saying she is not qualified to be the governor of Georgia. Really? Really? All right, folks, back to our Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment. Hey, folks, if you're looking for a hot new investment opportunity, I have two things I want you to think about: illegal marijuana and crowdfunding. Now, you just let that sink in for a second. Our friends at Transatlantic Real Estate have created a unique opportunity for everyday investors like you to get in the game for a minimum of $300 or $10,000, 50 grand, or even $100,000. You can get in where you want to fit in. Now, typically, it takes millions, if not billions, to invest in the legal marijuana industry, and it can be pretty risky trying to establish market share. However, Transatlantic Real Estate is taking a different approach. They buy the land that supports marijuana grow operations and lease it to licensed, high-paying tenants. Now, imagine being a landlord to a licensed marijuana farm. With the prospects of further legalization and changing public perceptions about marijuana, some investors could end up making serious money over the next several years. The best part is they are using crowdfunding, so you can get in now before they take the company public. If you want to find out more, go to marijuanastock.org. That's marijuanastock.org to get in now. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video. Let me help you out, Donald. Stacey Abrams graduated magna cum laude from Spelman College, master's degree from the University of Texas. I don't really talk about them. Okay, law degree from Yale Law School, and also the minority leader of the Georgia General Assembly. Brandon, sounds to me like one hell of a qualified black woman.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I said earlier, I think this whole issue, what's qualified, it reminds me a little bit what happened with Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama during 2008 primary. As you remember, Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton came out saying that Barack Obama was not qualified, that just a few years ago, he would be getting coffee for Bill Clinton. And so I hate this idea that they're putting qualifications on folks. I mean, looking at our current president, Donald Trump, compared to other presidents, you know, he's on paper, you would say maybe the least qualified of the presidents we've had. But I think if you look at the Georgia Constitution, it says you have to be 30 years old, you have to be a resident of the state, I think, for 6 years, and a U.S. citizen for 15 years, something like that. So I think that makes her qualified. She's running. Let the voters decide on Tuesday whether she's qualified to run the state. And again, I think Donald Trump continues to be his biggest enemy. It may work for a certain segment of his base, but it's not working for a majority of us.
Cleo.
We already know who Donald Trump is. He's been consistently strange and antagonistic and has a resistance to facts set before he became president. I think it's important, though, to understand, because we keep talking about Trump, but Trump is a figurehead who's sitting in front of a large group of people who support him, including some of the masses of the United States of America. It's not just Trump. I believe that Trump probably goes to the Klan committee first, the high executive level of the Klan in the White House, and they all plan to make a decision that he's making. He's not alone. But again, with him saying that Abrams is not qualified, come on, that's what we expect him to do and expect him to say. He's been predictable. That's why I get kind of surprised by people's perpetual being surprised by the man redundantly being Trump from day one. The man has not changed a bit, so this is to be expected. I don't believe he believes everything that he says. I don't believe that he believes that Stacey Abrams is not qualified, but he's playing psychological games. He's throwing that perspective into the mix so people can consider it, and his hope is that they will not vote for her because he says she's not qualified. And frankly, that kind of deceptive perspective has worked for him. It's worked.
Dorian?
The Lawyers Committee is a nonpartisan organization. We want to make sure that anyone who is eligible to cast a ballot on Election Day can cast a ballot. So if you run into problems at the polls on Election Day, dial 1-866-R-VOTE. We're here to help you out.
Hey, Dorian, you ain't got that. Dorian, you can be nonpartisan, but you can at least say the sister's qualified. You ain't got to run from the question.
Let me work my way back to that, because I met Stacey Abrams in person in 2014. I thought she was a very charming woman who was very focused, and I have to commend anyone who sees that there's a large segment of the state population who is not registered to vote, and she doesn't just sit back from her podium and tell people to go out and register to vote. She actually does something about it. She put together a nonprofit, and she got out there and she registered voters. That is 100% commendable. I think the questions of her qualifications are a non-issue. She's clearly qualified. She's clearly one of the most brilliant people in the four corners of the state of Georgia. So, I mean, that's beside the point for me. What I'm saying, and I want to be clear about this, is that if voters run into problems on election day, you can dial 1-866-R-VOTE. We will get you the help you need.
We got you. Dorian, I'm going to get a number. I got it. But stick to the topic at hand.